out there, Wolverine fans? You're listening to University of Michigan basketball here on WCBN Sports, your home for student Michigan broadcasts of Michigan sports. I'm Eli Sherman alongside Chris Pickler here for this Sunday afternoon basketball game. The University of Michigan Wolverines are taking on the Jaguars of IUPUI. That's Indiana University, Purdue University at Indianapolis. It's a mouthful. We'll be saying IUPUI all game. It's a little bit easier to say. The Wolverines in their first game on Friday night faced off with Howard University. They won that one with relative ease, 76-58. A similar line tonight, a 17.5-point favorite. The Wolverines coming into this one against the Jaguars. The Jaguars coming off of a loss on the road at Eastern Kentucky, falling 87-97. That game also on Friday evening. Chris, your thoughts on this game for the Wolverines? Obviously, another tune-up as they're moving into really the meat of their schedule for this early season tournament, the 2K Sports Classic. But other than that, this Michigan team will, look to rotate a lot, you'd expect, and really try and figure out who they are, what their identity is as a team, given all the losses they had during this offseason. What are your thoughts?
Well, going into the exhibition game, I said there's one X factor, and it's a guy I talked to you about earlier in the broadcast, a guy I wasn't the biggest fan of last year, DJ Wilson. He shot 3 for 5 last game, scored 9 points. He's going to be the key. If this team wants to go back to the tournament, we need a sixth man off the bench, and DJ Wilson is the guy that can get it done.
Starting lineups for these two teams, we'll go with IUPUI first. Starting at point guard, number 0, Daryl Combs, a senior. He's averaging 28 points per game, or I shouldn't say averaging, scored 28 points on Friday night at Eastern Kentucky. Number 5, senior, also playing guard, Kellen Thomas. Playing forward, number 15, Matt O'Leary. Playing forward, the sophomore, number 24, Evan Hall. And rounding things out, the guard, Ron Patterson, number 25. On the other side for the Wolverines at point, Derek Walton Jr. heading things up, the senior for the Wolverines. Also in that backcourt, Muhammad Ali Abdurrahman, number 12. Mo Wagner in at the 3 spot. Zach Irvin playing a 4. And Duncan Robinson, number 22, playing that shooting guard. Wolverines will look to distribute a lot of the production amongst these guys, but you'd have to think, as we talked about on the Daily Sports Report this week in our basketball preview show, really the key for the Wolverines this year is getting a bigger presence inside. Mo Wagner and DJ Wilson, the two guys you think of, Mark Donnell as well, but the last couple of years they've struggled to get defensive rebounding, and really most of their scoring has come from beyond the arc. Perhaps a different tune needed for this Michigan team to find success. And defensively, they're going to need help too. DJ Wilson potentially helps with that. Lots of length down there.
Well, there's been 2 truths in my life, 21 years old in sports. One is that the Tigers have a terrible bullpen. They've had a terrible bullpen forever. Number 2, Michigan basketball does not have a big man. Other than Mitch McGarry, we haven't had that guy. Can Mo Wagner be that guy? We're going to find out this year, and him and DJ Wilson, they are the keys.
Mo Wagner in there ready for the tip. Evan Hall facing off. Wagner wins the tip, back to Derek Walton Jr., and we're underway here at the Chrysler Center on the South Campus of the University of Michigan. Quick foul. Push called on Thomas. Wolverines will inbound from the far side. As we see it, the Wolverines are going right to left to right, rather. IUPUI going right to left. Rockman over to Irvin at the far wing. Irvin looking to find some space, gets a pick from Wagner. Dribbles into the lane. Shot. He makes it from the high key.
Good screen there by Mo there.
Combs dishes over to Patterson. Patterson back to the top of the key, gives it to Combs. Combs at the left wing, swinging around, dribbling in Thomas. Thomas goes up. His ball hits the bottom of the rim. Second chance effort puts it home.
Good D by Mo there. He just wasn't able to get the rebound. You got to come down with that if you're Mo Wagner.
Rockmont, top of the key, facilitating this offense. They set up a play on the left side, kicks it to Irvin at the wing. Irvin to Robinson at the top to Walton Jr. Walton inside to Wagner, sets a pick, gives it to Walton. His shot up high, off the rim, rebound to Patterson. The other way, Thomas. Thomas to O'Leary. Combs at the wing. Combs dribbles into the lane. Layup off the rim. Rebound by Duncan Robinson. Other way in transition. Rockmont dribbling into the lane. Kicks it out to Walton Jr. Look to take a shot. Travel called. Coming the other way for IUPUI. 2-2 here. 18:30 left to go in the first half.
Walton wanted that corner three there. He should have took it instead. Took a couple steps, and that's a travel every single time. IUPUI basketball.
Kellen Thomas taking things slowly up the court to Patterson. Patterson to Hall. Hall at the top to Thomas. Thomas dribbles into the lane. Layup. That one looked ugly off the rim. Rebound Zach Irvin. Irvin coming the other way in transition. Dribbles in. Holds up. Kicks it back out to Abdu Rahman at the top. Irvin from the wing to Walton. Walton swings it to Wagner. Wagner dribbles into the lane. Fouled as he goes up, and one! Mo Wagner gets hit hard in the shoulder as he drives to the rim, and he puts it home, going to the line to get three.
If you're going to foul him, if you're IUPUI there, you have to make sure he doesn't get that basket. They just gave up after the whistle. Just take him down at that point. The foul's already called. They give him the layup, and this is an and one for Mo. As he gets ready for this free throw, it's up, and it's good.
Mo Wagner, big man converts. Wolverines on top, 5-2 early here in Ann Arbor. Thomas dribbling down the court, swings it to Combs. Combs trying to find an entryway. Kicks it to Patterson. Patterson at the top. Back to Combs. Combs at the wing. Trying to find space, pulls up long two. Woo. He made it.
There he is.
Foot on the line, two-pointer for Combs. Pulls to 5-4. Robinson at the wing. Dribbles around. Finds Irvin at the far wing. Irvin to the top of the key. Pulls up for a three. Rims in and out. Mo Wagner the rebound. Second chance effort. Comes up short.
Way short.
IUPUI coming the other way in transition. Pass tipped out of bounds. I think it went off the hand of Abdu Rahman. That is the call.
Well, IUPUI is doing what they're supposed to do. They have 5 shots, all 5 of them by Combs and Thomas, their 2 leaders last game.
Inbound to Thomas. Thomas from the top, pulls up for a three. In and out. Irvin comes down. Coming the other way, speed. Irvin drives the lane, trying to find a shot underneath. Kicks it out to Robinson. Robinson in. Layup. In and out. Robinson gets his own rebound. He made it. Robinson, a nice second chance effort, getting his own miss to put it back. Wolverines on top, 7-4. Combs into the lane. Being harassed by Robinson. Off the high glass and in. Nice layup there from Daryl Combs. 28 points last game. And early on here, 4 points. Mo Wagner at the top, swings it around. Irvin underneath. Irvin goes up. He's fouled as he goes to the rim, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Irvin there, that was a good job selling the contact. That was definitely a 50-50 ball. We got the call, and if you're IUPUI, like I said, you're doing exactly what you need to. You're finding Combs, you're finding Thomas. Thomas struggling, but Combs 2 of 3 early. Exactly where they need to go today.
Irvin for his first of 2. Shot is up. Shot is good. Wolverines on top, 8-6.
One of his biggest criticisms, Zach Irvin, it was that last year he couldn't hit a free throw for the life of him. It was kind of a struggle to watch, kind of frustrating, but this year, 2 games in, he looks a lot better.
The second, that's good as well. Irvin counts them both. Wolverines lead by 3. Thomas coming the other way. At the wing. Wolverines into a 2-3 zone. Swinging around. Combs trying to find an entryway. Duncan Robinson doing a nice job on defense. Pass down in the lane. On the floor, coming up with it is Brennan. And timeout called by IUPUI as he was able to regain control but had 2 Wolverines standing right on top of him.
Something interesting to note for IUPUI, Evan Hall, their big man, he scored 1 point last game. The reason he's starting is because he has 10 rebounds. You really don't have to worry about it after you get these offensive rebounds. He's not going to put it back up. Obviously, he's uncomfortable. He didn't make a shot last game. I don't know how many shots he took, but 1 game, or 1 point rather, in the last game, that cannot happen. As your big man's got to score more than that, and hopefully Mo can control him today.
So to give you a little bit more idea of what this Michigan team is facing up against in IUPUI, IUPUI is by no means a staunch opponent, even for a Mid-American type team. They were picked to finish 5th in the Summit League, which, for those of you who are knowledgeable about college basketball, the Summit League is not really one of the top tier conferences. And to finish 5th in that league, it would not be much of an accomplishment. And for those who haven't heard of the Summit League, well, that should be an indication right there.
That's on purpose.
Right there, that it's not much of a league to be concerned about. In any case, IUPUI, this team does have one of the better players as a fan in a on-court participation activity. Just hit a three-pointer that win a $100 gift card to the sponsor. But in any case, IUPUI does have one of the best players in the conference, Daryl Combs, their starting point guard, the man who did score 28 points on Friday night against Eastern Kentucky. He was picked to be a preseason first-team All-Summit League selection. Last season, he was on the all-newcomer team and also was second-team All-Summit League. Of course, a transfer in last year. So this team potentially will give Michigan a test in the backcourt defensively, give Michigan's guard something to work with. But other than that, Michigan, you would expect, even with their limited size, matches up well against IUPUI. IUPUI's biggest player stands in at 6'9". 2 players, Josh James and Noah Thomas. We don't expect to see too much out of either of them. IUPUI back in play. Combs inside to Hall. Hall dribbling against Mo Wagner, trying to find space. He goes up with it.
His first basket of the season. There he is. Didn't take long.
Coming up, Abdul Rahman to Irvin. Foul called on the inside. Looked like a push. Called on Kellen Thomas.
That's Thomas's second early on. That's a big hit for IUPUI as he's going to be replaced here. That's a big one for Michigan.
And 4 quick fouls here for IUPUI. That was the under 4 timeout just there. And IUPUI, 4 fouls on the day. Inbound, Duncan Robinson going to the rim. His layup misses. Acrobatic play in and out of the rim. Coming the other way, Combs with speed. Drives right to the rim and scores quickly. Beautiful play with the right hand from Daryl Combs. Derek Walton Jr. dish to Robinson. Robinson high on the wing to Wagner. Inside to Robinson. Robinson lays it up and in. Nice play getting off the screen by Duncan Robinson.
Robinson's been around the rim the entire game. It's big for Michigan.
Henderson checked in during that timeout. Now dishes to Combs. Combs underneath. Kicks it out to Henderson. To Brennan. His shot. He makes the 3. Big man going up. And IUPUI leads 13-11 here at Chrysler.
He was 2 for 4 last game from 3. This time 1 for 1. Michigan down too early.
Irvin dribbles into the lane. Kicks it out to Wagner. He takes a 3. That one runs in and out. Rebound to McCall.
Didn't like that shot.
Combs dribbles down into the corner, pushed out, and a foul called on Wagner on that push.
It looked like he was trapped in the corner, but got out of it with a Wagner foul there, and looks like Wilson and Danella both come in. Wagner not thrilled with that foul call.
DJ Wilson and Mark Donnell checking in for the Wolverines. Duncan Robinson and Mo Wagner going off. There were some changes I didn't cover quite well for IUPUI on the court now. Combs, Henderson, James, McCall, and Brennan. Josh James, DJ McCall, Aaron Brennan, the three non-starters in that bunch. Brennan gets the ball on the inbounds, dribbles into the lane. DJ Wilson playing defense. Shot up and off the rim, rebound to Derek Walton Jr. Jr. coming the other way in transition, dribbles into the lane, trying to find it out, kicks it to Urban. Urban at the top of the key, back to Walton Jr. at the wing. Pick from Donnell, collapse. Derek Walton Jr. has to find space on his own, and he steps out of bounds on the baseline as he tried to go underneath the rim. IUPUI ball.
Wilson was calling for the alley-oop pass there. That's one of the big things he can do. He's a great dunker, but Walton didn't see him there, missed the timing, and just stepped on the baseline.
Henderson running things for IUPUI. To McCall. McCall at the wing. Back to Henderson. Henderson at the top, dribbling around, covered by Walton Jr. Dribbles in the lane. Ball knocked aside, foul coming up. Looked like Derek Walton Jr., the man called on the hand check.
Another cheap foul. Let's see the replay. Yeah, all right, he got a piece of the elbow, but it's unfortunate they gave him the shot there, and Henderson will shoot two.
Henderson's first is good. 14-11 IUPUI. There's 13:53 to go here in this first half of play from Ann Arbor. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Eli Sherman and Chris Pickler on the call.
Not what we wanted to see early on at all.
Derek Walton Jr. to DJ Wilson at the wing. To Donnell at the top. Feeds to Rockman, the three. Rimmed in and out. Tip back. Missed by Donnell. Brought down by DJ Wilson. Nice board there from the big man, 6'10", DJ Wilson. Urban facilitating things with a fresh shot clock. He's near the top key. Wilson from the wing. Foul called. That one on
James.
Josh James of IUPUI.
Donnell made a key mistake there. He went for the rebound, but instead of coming down with it, he tried to dunk it with one hand. Lucky Wilson was there to follow it up.
Quick inbound pass to Rockman. He goes up. His shot misses off the glass. IUPUI coming the other way, looking to extend their lead.
Wow, we all wanted a foul there.
Brennan dishes inside to James. James trying to post up, kicks it back out to Brennan. Brennan to Combs, top of the key, Brennan a three. His shot's good. 18-11 IUPUI.
Not the start we wanted early on. 18-11, 12 minutes to go. Irvin inside the key, gets it cornered. Derek Walton Jr. three, and it rims out. Rebound tapped around. James got it.
McCall coming the other way to Combs. IUPUI grooving in transition. Combs a shot. That three rims out. Rockman coming the other way. Rockman coming quick. Drives into the lane, can't find an entry. Dishes to Wilson. Wilson a layup coming back around.
Oh, they missed a blatant travel there on Muhammad Ali Abdur Rahman. They missed it. Michigan capitalizes within 5.
Henderson. Dribbles into the lane, going left. Kicks it back out to James, to Brennan. Comes from the far wing. Takes a long mid-range jumper. Acrobatic rebound, kick back out to Henderson. Henderson in the lane, dish to James. James goes up. Rimmed in and out. Blocked on another chance by James, and now a travel coming the other way as Michigan had collected the ball.
Wow. DJ Wilson missed the rebound. Donnell missed 2 rebounds. It was able to get tapped out there. They're showing the replay on the screen right now. I'm interested to see where they got the travel. Okay. Well, I sure didn't see anything, but that's just me as we got 18-13. IUPUI on top, 11:47 to play, first half.
So right there we saw IUPUI really started to speed things up. They were really grooving there. They had a sequence of, I think, a 9-0 run. And really Michigan was getting outpaced. Normally Michigan plays a much slower game. They like to facilitate things on offense in a deliberate fashion and try and run an offense, really. They're not trying to score on you as quick as you can so that they can get back and play defense. This is a team that their tempo is a slow to medium at best. And when IUPUI was really just making them run, we saw that they struggled, especially on defense, to keep IUPUI's guards from getting that penetration, getting the easy layups.
Well, we saw, I was at the exhibition game against Armstrong State. They didn't hit a three until about a minute to go in the first half. That was Armstrong State. They're not D1. They're not NCAA. Right now, 0 for 3 from 3, and we're almost halfway through the first half. Can't win like that. That's Michigan's game. That's what Michigan needs to do. 0 of 3 is unacceptable. On the other side, you look at IUPUI, 2 of 4 from 3. They've made both their free throws. They haven't really needed to rebound too much because they're making many more shots than Michigan are, and it's a sloppy 8 minutes, and I think we may be looking ahead to Marquette in New York just a little bit.
Yeah, Michigan from here will go on to Madison Square Gardens where they'll play Marquette at 9:30 p.m. on Thursday evening, and then on Friday, time TBD, they'll play either Pittsburgh or SMU, Larry Brown's team.
Oh boy. Larry Brown has had our number the last couple of times he's played us.
Michigan played SMU a couple of years ago. The last time Michigan missed the tournament, I believe 2 years ago.
Yep.
And really SMU beat them out, shut them out of the gym.
Yeah, that was here too. That was in Chrysler, and that was a 20, 30-point loss. That was ugly. But so is this. As we come back out, and it looks like Simpson, the famed freshman, is on the floor, number 3 in white.
Xavier Simpson checks in for Derek Walton Jr. Everything on IUPUI side the same. Inbound to Brennan. Brennan to Patterson from the top. Long 2, rimmed in and out. Ugly shot. Rockman coming the other way. Rockman dishes to Simpson. Simpson back out to Rockman. Over to Wilson at the wing. Swinging around to Irvin at the far wing. Irvin looking for a pick from Donnell. Pulls up, long 2. He made it. Big jumper there from Zach Irvin. Impressive.
If you ask me, it looked like McCall got a piece of him after that shot.
Henderson underneath, dishes. Patterson's shot knocked aside. Rather, that's Hall. Kicks out to Patterson. Patterson a long 3, rimmed in and out. Rebound, DJ Wilson. Rockman across the M in the center court to Simpson. Simpson from the top. Running around the perimeter. Irvin from the far wing to Rockman at the top of the key. Gets a pick from Donnell. Inside. Underneath the rim. Kicks it out to Wilson. Wilson in the far corner. 7 seconds on the shot. To Irvin. Irvin pulls up from long range.
From the moon.
Rims in and out. Nothing he could do there. Had to get a shot off with the clock ticking down to 2. Henderson gets the rebound. The Wolverines, or rather IUPUI, has not scored in the last 2:35 of play. We're a quarter of the way through this one. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Brennan underneath. Easy dish from McCall. Goes to the rim and puts it home. 20-15 IUPUI.
Donnell got some ball watching there. Can't do that.
DJ Wilson, the near wing, to Simpson. Simpson at the top. Dribbles left. Tries to find a man. Keeps it himself. ISO. Dribbles back out near the perimeter to Donnell. Donnell inside. No lane there. Kicks it out. Kicks it back into Donnell. Donnell goes to the rim and puts it home.
Hall got taken down there. I'm not sure how he trips, but he didn't. Donnell was able to get the open shots.
Pass from Henderson. Trying to find a lane to the corner for an open 3. Tipped aside and knocked out of bounds.
As I mentioned, Danelle tripping, or the Hall tripping, excuse me. Muhammad Ali Abdul-Rahman tripped, was able to get out and tap it out of bounds, which is where IUPUI will take it.
IUPUI from next to the Michigan bench. McCall the inbound. O'Leary checked in for the first time for IUPUI. Thomas back in as well. O'Leary at the top to Thomas. Thomas finds Patterson. Back to Thomas. Thomas dribbles into the lane. Goes up, blocked by Mark Donnell. Unable to come up with the ball, though, as it bobbled in and out of his hands and then out of bounds at the far baseline. IUPUI ball. 9 seconds left on the shot clock, though. They'll have to get things going quickly.
Donnell, great block, but you got to finish it off with that rebound.
Thomas inbound. Patterson from the corner. Dribbles into the lane. Push back out. Long two, rimmed in and out. Derek Walton Jr. the rebound. Coming the other way in transition. Lays it up. E.J. Wilson, the big putback. Coming out of nowhere.
Walton went for the 1-on-4. It didn't happen, but Wilson out of nowhere. Michigan's within one.
Patterson at the top of the key. Over to Combs. Combs from the wing. Back out to Hall. Hall looking to give it off. Back to Combs. Combs near the top.
Good D.
10 on the shot clock. Combs dribbles into the lane. Pro hop. Kicks it back out. Patterson puts it home. Simpson coming the other way. 22-19 IUPUI. Simpson at the top. Over Irvin at the far wing. Wilson at the top of the key. Derek Walton Jr. on the near side looking to find a man inside. Kicks it out to DJ Wilson. Dribbles left. Finds Irvin. Irvin pulls up top of the key.
That's his
he
spot.
made it.
Right there at the free throw line. That jumper is his every time.
Zach Irvin is hot right now. IUPUI. O'Leary at the top. Around to Patterson. Patterson dishes it inside. O'Leary trying to post up with Irvin. Hook shot up and in. Beauty there from O'Leary. And IUPUI extends their lead 24-21.
Jaguars can't miss right now.
DJ Wilson dribbles around to Irvin. Irvin to Derek Walton Jr. Dribbling around the perimeter. Pulls up. His three is good. The Wolverines tie it up. 24-24 with 7:18 to go here in the first half at Chrysler Arena.
It's getting electric in Chrysler, folks.
Into the lane. Combs nearly traveled. He lost the ball, and Mark Donnell comes up with it. He calls a timeout. The Wolverines take possession after tying up the game. 7:08 to go here. We've hit the under 8 at Chrysler Center. You're listening to WCBN Sports. Eli Sherman and Chris Pickler on the call. Here's the Wolverines are in a dogfight at home against IUPUI of the Summit League.
Well, so far, stats don't look terrible. Irvin 3 of 5. One of those was that just throw up for a three-pointer. He's 0 for 2 from 3, 3 of 3 from 2. Wilson 2 of 2. We got Walton 1 for 4, 1 of 2 from 3. Donnell's taken one shot. He's got it in 7 minutes. Abdul-Rahman is 0 for 2, 0 of 1 from 3. Mo Wagner is 1 of 3. I believe he's taken a 3, but it says 0 to 0 on my score sheet. And Duncan Robinson 2 of 4 with 4 points for Michigan.
Overall, both teams shooting moderately well, but not fantastic. IUPUI 43.5 from the field, 40% from beyond the arc. The Wolverines 47.6%, 20% from beyond the arc.
Well, we're at the 7 minutes of the first half, and that was the first Michigan 3 of the game. That has to get going. If this season's going to be any bit of a success, we've got to make at least 30% of our threes, to be honest.
Looking at the rebounding game, which at the start of the broadcast we said was going to be a key for this Michigan team, throughout the year. Michigan getting out-rebounded on the defensive end 8-7. Or rather, they're leading the rebound. So excuse me, on the defensive end, 8-7, but getting out rebounded on the offensive end, 6-4. Michigan getting a couple second chance points there thanks to Markton Allen. DJ Wilson, again, DJ Wilson, I think, is starting to show himself as the most improved player. Last year he was very raw, to say the least.
Yep.
Wouldn't say he was much worse than raw, but it was undeveloped, and then he got injured, early on, a couple weeks into the season, and nobody really knew what to expect out of him coming into the season. But now with the really short shorts, it's doing him
yes.
well.
Loves
it's doing him proud.
Yes.
Has shown himself to be able to play really well on defense. 6'10", he's really long, able to be a disruptive force down there. And now Michigan going quite big. DJ Wilson, Mo Wagner, and Duncan Robinson all on the court for the Wolverines. Derek Walton Jr. pulls up for a three, bounces in and out, ringed around the rim, finally fell down for the Michigan three, 27-24.
Nice touch.
IUPUI, Combs dishes it inside, ball in and out of the hands of O'Leary, knocked away by Derek Walton Jr. IUPUI ball, 18 seconds on the shot clock.
Michigan was down 7 at one point. They're up 3 now, and they have the entire momentum so far in this first half right now.
Giovanni Frazier checks in for IUPUI. He's playing down low, matched up with Mo Wagner. Combs at the top of the key, dribbles into the lane, rims in and out, and back in. Nice layup there. Good touch with the right hand.
Right under the
Combs.
Lengthy arm of DJ Wilson there.
Combs 11 points on the day. DJ Wilson at the top of the key for the Wolverines. To Walton Jr. Kicks it to Robinson. Robinson the three. Off the front of the rim. Comes up short. Thomas the rebound. Thomas coming quick. Kicks it out to Combs. Combs looked to pull up. Takes it back down. Patterson inside. Underneath. Big layup missed. Way too much mustard on that one. Coming the other way, Duncan Robinson pulls up for a three. He got it! 30-26 Wolverines. Duncan Robinson drills a three.
You're not going to keep that man down for too long. Michigan looking good right now.
Thomas the other way for IUPUI. Top of the key, over to Combs. And a foul called. Looks like a hold called on Duncan Robinson. That was a rather ambiguous signal from the referee.
Yeah, I'm not
wasn't
sure.
Wasn't clear what the offense was. It was very hand wavy, literally hand wavy.
Yes.
In any case, IUPUI ball, fresh shot clock with 5:26 to go here in the first half.
It's only the third foul on Michigan. IUPUI has 5 minutes left first half.
Thomas inbound, quick shot by Combs. He made it. 13 points for Darrell Combs on the afternoon. Abdu Rahman coming the other way for Michigan. Rahman at the top. Over to Watson, who checks in for the first time today. Ibi Watson, the freshman. Derek Walton Jr. into the lane. Kicks it out to Rahman. Rahman the three. In and out. Mo Wagner tried to get the rebound. Couldn't come up with it. McCall the other way. To Thomas. Thomas high in the top of the key. Dribbles into the lane. Kicks it out to McCall. McCall hits the hole and buries it. Nice layup to tie it up for IUPUI. 30-30 with 4:30 to go. Ibi Watson. To Derek Walton Jr. Derek Walton Jr. swinging around. Dribbles into the lane. Pulls up mid-range jumper. That comes up short. McCall gets the rebound. Mo Wagner came up slow after that one. Looked like he got poked in the eye on the other end. Combs dribbles to the hole and makes the layup. 32-30 IUPUI.
Small 6-0 run here, but Michigan having trouble finding the bottom of the net, and their defense just isn't getting it done against a pretty good IUPUI team.
Mo Wagner seems to be all right now. Robinson at the top, over to Watson. Derek Walton Jr. back to Watson, pulls up for three from the top of the key. A little bit long. Derek Walton Jr. gets the rebound, dribbles in the lane to Wagner. Wagner kicks it out. Rockman the three. He got it! IUPUI bench screaming for a travel on that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if you saw that one, but Mo took about 6 steps with that one. Michigan will take it. They're up 1.
Thomas. Michigan into a 1-3-1. O'Leary dribbling to the left side, trying to find an entryway. Posting up on Watson. His shot short. Off balance shot. Quick into the lane. Ibby Watson in transition. Big dunk, throwing it down. 35-32 Michigan. And IUPUI takes a timeout trying to stop this run. Wolverines on top.
What a streaky game this has been. It was 18-11 IUPUI. Then Michigan took a big lead. It's back and forth, and right now momentum on the home team side. And field goal is about as close as it gets. Michigan 48.3, IUPUI 48.4. And something else interesting to note, we talked about Combs earlier today. He's got 15 minutes. No one else has more than 8. That's their star. He's 7 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. If IUPUI wants a shot at this game, Combs might have to play 35 minutes.
They're honoring a couple of wounded warriors down there on the court now, here on Veterans Weekend in Ann Arbor. Didn't quite catch what their combat credentials were, but in any case, a salute to those fine gentlemen,
Absolutely.
veterans of the United States military. Just want to remind you that you're listening to WCBN Sports. We're broadcasting University of Michigan basketball live from Chrysler Arena. I'm Eli Sherman alongside Chris Pickler. The Wolverines are in a bit of a dogfight here at home against the Jaguars of IUPUI. The Wolverines lead 35-32. We're at the under 4 timeout. After this game, tune in as the women's team takes on,
Oakland,
you give me a moment,
Niagara. Niagara. They beat Oakland the other day, that's right.
3 p.m. tip-off. That game will be right here on WCBN Sports. Chris will be on that broadcast as well, joined by Dalton Pataki, WCBN Zone. And of course, as always, tune in to the Daily Sports Report, Monday through Thursday, 6 to 6:30, our live drive time talk show as we talk about everything in the sports world with a Michigan focus, but of course, also talking about professional sports. That's available online at WCBNsports.org, or if you're in the Ann Arbor area, live on 88.3 FM Ann Arbor.
Eli, what was your take about last night? About last night's Michigan's loss to Iowa?
I think Michigan, sorry, I was getting ahead of myself already thinking. I think, a lot of people want to put that game on the refs for, a rough call on the face mask, a rough call on the targeting, but to me, back in my playing days, the adage was you have to play well enough to beat the other team and you have to play well enough to beat the refs. And to me, Michigan didn't even play well enough to beat Iowa last night. They have no argument about whether or not the refs lost that game for them. I think Michigan really, really struggled and they got to play better if they want to achieve their goals. On that play, a foul called on Hall.
That was Hall, yep.
So Michigan gets the ball, 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Derek Walton Jr. dribbles across the timeline. Kicks it to Zach Irvin. Zach Irvin inside. Donnell goes up, blocked from behind. Hall coming up big. And Henderson dribbling into the lane in transition. Kicks it back out. Hall looked for a shot. Dribbles into the lane. No charge called as Mark Donnell went to the floor. Shot off the glass and rebounded by Derek Walton Jr. Walton Jr. from the key to Donnell. Back to Walton Jr. DJ Wilson on the wing. Foul called. Looks like
that's Hall again. That'll be his second.
Evan Hall, the sophomore playing the 4 today.
He was the guy with 1 point last game, but 10 rebounds. Right now he's got 2 points, 3 rebounds. and 2 fouls as Donnell will shoot a 1-and-1.
Josh James checks in for Evan Hall. And Michigan, as Chris mentioned, into the bonus, 17 fouls for IUPUI here in this first half. The shot rims in and out, but Donnell gets his own rebound. The Wolverines will be able to play offense here. 2:20 rather, to go here in the first half. Derek Walton Jr. running things from the top. DJ Wilson, back to Irvin, to Rockmont on the far wing. Rockmont dribbling to his right. Inside to Donnell. Donnell, an easy layup. Nice find from Rockmont, channeling that lane. Beautiful pass.
Should have had that one earlier before the foul. Got this one. Michigan up 5.
Henderson dribbles into the lane underneath. His shot blocked. He comes up with it, though, at the top of the key. 16 to go on the shot clock. Kicks it around to Combs.
There's a mismatch inside.
Combs inside to Brennan. Kicks it out to McCall. 5 on the shot clock. McCall a shot. Ugly one, rimmed in and out.
Thank the student section for that one.
Michigan student section started counting down from 10 when the clock said 13, trying to get McCall to make an ugly shot, and he did. On the other side, DJ Wilson from the near wing. Up to Derek Walton Jr. To Donnell. He's fouled. That one on the floor. A late call on a late whistle. Hadn't quite gone to the rim yet. But Donnell will go to the line anyways for the 1-and-1. That foul called on Josh James.
Wow, this is very surprising. They still have Combs on the floor. IUPUI, that is huge for them.
1:14 left to go here in the first half. Wolverines up 5. Front end of the 1-and-1 is good. 38-32 Michigan. James checks out and Frazier checks back in. Giovanni Frazier, the 6'8 freshman out of Coral Springs, Florida. Donnell second. He hits it. Both ends of the 1-and-1 are good for Michigan. 39-32, starting to pull away a little bit here at the tail end of the first half. Thomas over to Combs. Combs on the far wing. Dribbles left, now right, into the lane. Long layup. That one misses off the high glass. DJ Wilson kicks it out to Walton Jr. coming the other way in transition. Rockmont into the lane. Floater. It's good off the high glass. 41-32.
Vegas had us by 17. We're above that right now.
Thomas at the top near center court. Going to run down the play clock as much as he can. Dribbles left. Into the lane. Open lane. High off the glass. His shot misses. DJ Wilson, the beautiful rebound. Derek Walton Jr. inside to Zach Irvin. Easy layup. Puts it home. Nothing too flashy there. 43-32 Michigan. 17 seconds ago. The shot clock is dead. Combs from center court.
It's that early shot
8
clock
seconds
again.
to go. Combs pulls up for 3.
Fell for it
No
again.
good. Derek Walton Jr. the rebound. He pulls up from midcourt, takes a 3 off the back of the rim. It's going to do it for the first half here from Ann Arbor. The Wolverines pull away there right at the end. 4-17 run with no points for IUPUI to close out that half. And Michigan leads 43-32. We'll be back from Ann Arbor in about 15 minutes. I'll be joined by Alex Lopez for the second half of this one. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to Chrysler Center. I'm Eli Sherman alongside Alex Lopez here for the second half of this basketball game. The University of Michigan Wolverines facing off with the Jaguars of IUPUI. That's Indiana University, Purdue University, Indianapolis. We were talking to the IUPUI athletic director down in the IUPUI tunnel during halftime, and he was telling us that our suspicions are correct and that Darrell Combs is by far the best player that IUPUI has. Other than that, the conversation was mostly just exchanging pleasantries, not too much game information there. But in any case, the Wolverines lead 43-32. They closed the half on a 13-0 run. And IUPUI went 420 without scoring. Alex, your thoughts on how IUPUI is going to get back into this game and really try and make this one an interesting one down the stretch here on Sunday afternoon?
Well, just like you said, we talked about Combs being kind of just the leading scorer. He is the leading scorer for IUPUI. It's all to come through him. He already has 15 points in the first half. Expect him to be around 30 by the end of this game. But besides that, really they're going to try to just feed the ball to Combs as well as Henderson, who's been playing well off the bench.
Thomas drives the lane, kicks it out to Patterson. Patterson's three rims in and out. DJ Wilson hands it off to Derek Walton Jr. On the court for IUPUI, Darrell Combs, Kellen Thomas, Matt O'Leary, Evan Hall, and Ron Patterson, the five starters. Derek Walton Jr., a three from the wing. That one rimmed in and out, foul by Mo Wagner.
And that's what I like to see out of Michigan, taking the threes. We didn't make one till about 7 minutes left. Of the first half. So definitely I like to see that Michigan is starting to shoot the three ball real early in this game, the second half at least.
On Michigan side of things, on the floor, DJ Wilson, Derek Walton Jr., Muhammad Ali, Abdul Rahman, Mo Wagner, and Ibi Watson. Patterson from the top of the key, swings it to Thomas. Thomas from the near wing, dribbles left, trying to find a lane. Derek Walton Jr. slams the door. They swing it around to Patterson. Inside to Hall. Hall to O'Leary. O'Leary goes up. He's fouled as he goes to the rim. DJ Wilson called on the hack.
Michigan foul to number 5, DJ Wilson. Yes, sir.
So O'Leary will go to the stripe. Down 11, trying to end this scoring drought. It's now been over 5 minutes since they've scored. First one is up and good. 43-33. Michigan's pep band, the most vocal members of this crowd here on a Sunday afternoon against a arguably overmatched opponent. Chrysler appears to be about 10% capacity right now. DJ Wilson, top of the key. Dribbles left, swings it to Derek Walton Jr. Back around to the top. Over to Watson on the near wing. Inside to Wagner. Wagner posting up. Swings. His ball sits on the rim for half a second and finally falls in. 45-34 Michigan. Thomas on the left side. Dribbling to his right. Kicks it to Combs. Combs at the top of the key. Darrell Combs inside to O'Leary. O'Leary matching up with Wilson. Hook shot, up and in. Nice job by Matt O'Leary.
Nothing you can do about that. Wilson with some great defense, but it was a great shot by IUPUI.
A.B. Watson on the near wing. Up top to Derek Walton Jr., swinging around to DJ Wilson. Inside Mo Wagner. Dribble, entryway along the baseline. Underneath, makes the layup. Mo Wagner going strong with that right hand, getting around his man to put it home. Michigan back on top by 11. Thomas into the lane. Layup high off the glass. Rebound, Mo Wagner. Abdul Rahman coming the other way. Channels a pass, intercepted by IUPUI. They run into a cameraman down there, and one man is down as Thomas goes underneath the ball. In and out of hands of Abdul Rahman. Coming the other way in transition, Derek Walton Jr. fouled as he goes to the rim, trying to get a quick two. Hall called for the blocking foul. He was slow to get up as he and DJ Wilson went slamming into the cameraman down there underneath the hoop. And then we're still down on that end as Michigan came back in transition. Walton will go to the line for two. First one is up and good.
And it's good to see Walton Jr. continue his scoring run the past two games. On Friday, his last game scored 20 points, so it's great to see that he's back up with now 8 points tonight, this afternoon.
Walton drills both. The Wolverines have had scoring production from 8 different players, distributing things evenly. Irvin leads the way with 10. O'Leary inside on the baseline, kicks one out. Patterson along two. He made it. Beautiful pull-up jumper there from Patterson. Brings it back to 11. Rockman over to Wilson. Back to Walton Jr. at the top of the key. Swinging it to Rockman. Rockman on the far wing. Pass over the defense. Inside and then kick back out to Wagner. Wagner dribbling the lane. He loses the ball as he goes to the rim. Ball knocked out of bounds. Looked like it was off Hall. In any case, Wolverines ball. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. DJ Wilson, the inbounder. He finds Derek Walton Jr. Quick three. He got it! Derek Walton Jr. off the inbound pass. Quick catch and pop. And the Wolverines up 52-38, a 14-point little bit of technical difficulties. The internet went out here at and as Alex was just saying, after this game, IUPUI will have 2 home games, those against Howard and either Gardner Webb or Eastern Michigan next week, Thursday and Friday. Part of this 2K Classic and early season tournament. For Michigan, in years past, we've seen them play in this 2K Classic and then sometimes an additional tournament. This year, just the one. They'll, of course, have the ACC Big Ten Challenge coming up in a couple of weeks. They'll be playing Virginia Tech, their other big non-conference games this year. Texas at home on Tuesday, December 6th, and then on the road at UCLA on Saturday the 10th. Then they move into the Big Ten schedule, starting with the new year, January 1st at Iowa. Mo Wagner hits the and one, converts the three-point play. Wolverines on top, 55-40. Thomas from the top of the key. Dishes to O'Leary inside. His shot knocked aside. Wilson comes down with the rebound. Walton Jr. top of the key to Rockman. Over to Ibby Watson on the near wing. Mo Wagner, isolation, trying to drive. Couldn't find an entryway. Kicks it back out to Derek Walton Jr. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Dribbles right, pulls up for three, rims out, and Thomas gets the rebound. Rather, McCall gets the rebound for IUPUI. McCall near the center stripe. Over to Watson or Thomas. Thomas far with Combs at the top. Combs dribbles right, kicks it out to O'Leary. O'Leary the three. He got it. 55-43. IUPUI claws 3 back.
IUPUI changing it up this time, letting Thomas kind of be the ball handler the beginning of the second half, and letting Combs work a lot off the dribble.
Rockman dribbling into the lane, high floater off the glass and in. Muhammad Abdul Ali Rockman, 7 points on the day. Thomas Combs inside to O'Leary, defended by Wilson. O'Leary swings it around to Thomas. Thomas dribbles into the lane, underneath, kicks it to Brennan. Brennan, the layup is good. Derek Walton Jr. facilitating to Watson on the near wing. Michigan going right to left as we see him. DJ Wilson dribbles into the lane, kicks it back out to Watson. Watson the three, in and out. Ball tipped up high there and out of bounds by DJ Wilson. IUPUI regains possession. 13:23 to go here in the second half in Ann Arbor. A couple of changes for each of these. Duncan Robinson, Zach Urban back in as Wilson and Watson go off. On the IUPUI side of things, Henderson comes, as does James. McCall from the top of the key to Combs. Whistle on the play, looks like an off-the-ball foul. This one called on Duncan Robinson, yeah.
That'll be Robinson's second for the day. Good to see no Michigan Wolverine in foul trouble today. That was a problem on Friday. Then we got into foul trouble, and it really limited their minutes and options off the bench.
Combs from the corner off the inbound. He made the three. And IUPUI back under 10. 57-48 Michigan.
Combs already with 20 points with 13 minutes left to go. Like I said before, look for Combs to really be the leading scorer for this IUPUI team if they want any shot at coming back into this game.
Urban swings it to Walton Jr. Walton Jr. into the lane, kicks it out to Urban. Urban in the near corner. Urban dribbles to his right, 7 on the shot clock. Dribbles back to his left, pulls up, long 2, in and out, rebound marked it out. Nice tip out by Duncan Robinson from underneath. Urban settles things on the near wing. Rockman high in the key. Rockman dribbles to his left, gets a pick from Denell. Didn't help much. Dribbles underneath the basket. Double clutch. His shot didn't make it, but the whistle on the foul will send for two.
Bit of a late foul, and you can definitely see Coach Gardner for IUPUI not too happy with that call.
So as you mentioned, Darrell Combs, the story of the day for IUPUI, 20 points on the afternoon, just 2 assists, but a 28-point performance at Eastern Kentucky, and he's proving himself to be worthy of that preseason All-Summit League selection. Xavier Simpson checks in. Derek Walton Jr. out. Henderson running things for IUPUI. Combs from the near wing. Swings it to Henderson. Henderson at the top. Gets a pick from James. Tries to enter. Denell said no. They kick it up to Brennan at the top. Around to McCall. McCall dribbles left. He's fouled. Xavier Simpson called on a push. And we've hit the under 12 here in Ann Arbor. Wolverines on top by 11, 59-48. Wolverines have had scoring from a slew of different players. Walton Jr. 11, Wagner 10, Irvin 10, Abdul Rahman 9, and then 4 other player points for the Wolverines.
And it's great to see Michigan being very efficient from the line as well. 10 for 11 today, and just continuing that run from also on Friday. They were, I believe, 15 for 17 from the line. So, when you're giving those free points, you might as well just take them, right?
Michigan shooting 50% from the field on the game, 45.5 on this half. A shade under 30% from beyond the arc. They're 5 of 17. That's good for 29.4%. IUPUI, on the other hand, 44.4 from the field, 40% from beyond the arc. They haven't made a three this half, or rather, they're 2 for 4 on threes this half. But Michigan starting to go with the bigger men, and that's helped them here early on in the second half. They're scoring more from the inside and really using that post presence. It's not something you'd expect them to go to throughout the season. IUPUI, a very small team, probably the smallest team they'll face all year. Their biggest guy, 6'9", Josh James. Of their starters, the biggest guy is Matt O'Leary at 6'8". So Michigan with a couple of, in a college game, big men, what in the NBA would probably amount to
the average size man.
Large fours. But, Michigan, DJ Wilson, 6'10", Mo Wagner, 6'11". Duncan Robinson, pretty tall as well at 6'8". Mark Denell, 6'9". So, they got a couple of guys that can match up really nicely. And for this Michigan team, Duncan Robinson is normally playing out on the perimeter. Out on the perimeter, and they're able to use Duncan Robinson in ways that he isn't normally used. It gives IUPUI a little bit of fits that they have to play with a bigger team, but this isn't something that Michigan's going to be. Most of the teams they'll play in the Big Ten, since most teams, the schedule are much, much bigger than this IUPUI squad.
I think partly has to do with the talented backcourt of IUPUI. Thomas and Combs definitely giving a lot of trouble to our guards. So I believe the fact that Coach Beeline decided to go attack with the front court is being shown as an excellent decision for today's game.
Abdul Rahman tried to find Denell inside. He went to the rim and had his behind. Ball out of bounds. Wolverines will inbound. 11 to go on the shot clock. Irvin His pass tipped up in the air. Donnell made the catch near center court. Derek Walton Jr. dribbles in the lane underneath. He's pushed as he goes to the rim. 2 shots coming up for Derek Walton Jr.
11, Josh James. His 3rd personal foul.
Josh James, the man called on the foul there in the day. And IUPUI, a couple of players in foul trouble. DJ Wilson will check in for Duncan Robinson as Derek Jr. made the first. Saying James and Hall both have 3 personals to their credit. And that doesn't play too nicely as those 2 play the same positions. So IUPUI is going to have to be flexible, go with a different man down the stretch if that situation gets too much worse. Derek Walton Jr. hits the second. IUPUI coming the other way. Combs top of the key, swings it around to Brennan, to Henderson in the corner. Dribbles in the lane, loses the ball as he gets there. Hands, it'll be IUPUI ball.
And like all respect, deservedly, he does deserve the double team. It is leaving us quite open on the corner threes, and that IUPUI starting to get open quite a few open looks on the corner.
Henderson to inbound. Quick dish to Combs, up and under the rim. He makes the layup. 61-50 Wolverines, 10 to go, 10:50 to go here in Ann Arbor. Now top of the key. Really slow progressing offensive set here from the Wolverines. Rockmont dribbles into the lane, kicks it out to Walton Jr. in the corner. Pulls up for 3. His shot rims out. Recovered by Donnell. Donnell dribbling in the lane. He's fouled as he gets there. Called on the floor.
Michigan in a little cold shooting trend right now. Only one for 4. 0 for 4 in the last 4 shots. So definitely the fact that we're getting to the stripe is keeping this game at the margin it is now.
And has not made a field goal in the last 3:37 of clock time. That was the 5th team foul on IUPUI. First foul called on Brennan, and now a foul called before Terrell Combs. His first foul of the game. That's the 6th team foul on IUPUI. Will be next foul by IUPUI. An ugly situation to get into with more than 10 minutes in the game. From behind center court, dribbles it back to the offensive zone. Irvin pulls up. Long 2. He gets fouled as he goes there. Jump shooter gets fouled, and that's an and 1 coming up.
He's
barely saw the foul on that, called on McCall as Irvin went up.
Definitely like to see the fact that Irvin feels this comfortable with this jumper this early into the season. It was something that that Michigan missed missed clearly a lot last year.
Irvin converts the 3-point play. They're up 64-50. Driving into the lane is Hall. His shot high off the glass. Michigan had the rebound in their hands, but Irvin and Walton Jr. were fighting over it. Ended up going off of Walton Jr.'s leg and out of bounds. IUPUI will regain possession on their side of the court. Henderson to inbound, 10:07 on the clock here in Ann Arbor. Henderson gets it out to McCall. McCall dribbles left, into the lane, going up, and a blocking foul charged to Zach Irvin. Looked like his feet weren't quite set. Looking for the charge there underneath the hoop.
Thought he had it.
Didn't quite see a replay, but it's also possible he was in that restricted area, the column near the hoop. In any case, McCall, he has 2. He misses the first. Once again, Michigan now in the bonus. 17 fouls for IUPUI. Michigan has committed 5 of their own this half. McCall hits the second, and O'Leary will check back in for Aaron Brennan. Derek Walton Jr. carries it across center court. Swings it to DJ Wilson, far wing. Donnell at the top, over to Zach Irvin on the near wing. Calls for a pick from Donnell. Dribbling right, kicks it to Wilson. Rockmon. Rockmon dribbles left. Settling things back down, 10 on the shot clock. Dribbles left. Pulls up, long two. DJ Wilson underneath. Gets what turned out to be a pass on a very ugly shot. He went to the rim, and his shot was missed. Rebound by IUPUI, coming the other way. Henderson dribbles into the lane. Underneath, blocked by DJ Wilson. Michigan in transition, 4-on-2. DJ Wilson underneath. Big layup. He couldn't quite get his hand on it from the dish from Derek Welton Jr. Rimmed in and out. IUPUI comes up with it. 64-51, 9 minutes to go. Hall underneath, posting up on Donnell. Lays one high off the glass. It only the glass, and Donnell comes down with it. Michigan coming the other way. DJ Wilson, the far wing. Dribbles left. Now to Derek Walton. Derek Walton dribbles underneath the baseline, kicks it out to Rockmon. Irvin to Donnell. Donnell thought about pulling up for a 3-7 on the shot clock. Now Irvin into the lane. Layup off the glass. Rims in and out. IUPUI rebound.
Michigan.
Henderson in transition. McCall in and out of his hands. Tough pass. McCall couldn't handle it. And IUPUI turns it over.
And both teams in a little scoring run right now. Michigan 1 for 9 in their last field goal attempts, and IUPUI not any shot attempts in the last 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Both teams definitely struggling to find the offensive rhythm.
UI, that was their 6th turnover on the day. Michigan has committed 5. Relatively clean day in that respect from these two teams. DJ Wilson to Derek Walton Jr., far wing. Back to Wilson, back to Walton. Walton gets a pick, moves right, pass out of his hands. Now coming the other way in transition, IUPUI gets the ball. Hall fouled as he goes to the rim. IUPUI got the turnover as Michigan passed there. Derek Walton Jr. couldn't find his man. Ball knocked out of his hands. And IUPUI unable to convert under the rim, but they'll go to the line for 2. We've hit the under 8. You're listening to Sports Live from Chrysler Arena on the campus of the University of Michigan. I'm Eli Sherman alongside Alex Lopez here for this Sunday afternoon. Greens lead by 13, 64-51. Facing off with the Jaguars of University, Purdue University, Indianapolis, the world's biggest mouthful university. Wolverines struggled early, but started to find some room and pulled away late in the first half, and then the lead is swung between 9 points and about here in the second half. It's never been, never been much in reach for IUPUI here in the second half, but the Wolverines are struggling to find the way here against the Jaguars at home, the second home game of the year.
And it's interesting to note that Michigan has pulled away from what was scoring them early points on, definitely trying to feed the ball to their big forwards and overpowering. And they've gone back to kind of a guard-heavy ball, slow setup, a slow methodical setup, which IUPUI is putting up a great defensive stop to. So I wonder if Coach Beeline is telling them to start attacking the rim again, going back to feeding the ball to Donnell or to Robinson and letting their bigs do the work, which definitely brought up for IUPUI, Coach Gardner, but trying to give the ball back to Combs. Combs definitely significantly more quiet this second half. only with 5 points in the second half compared to. So both coaches have to see if they can find out offensive rhythm once again.
Offensively leading the way for the Wolverines, Derek Walton Jr. and Zach Urban, each with 13 points. Walton Jr. 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Urban 0 for 2. Wolverines, Mo Wagner. DJ Wilson,
Picking
12
up
rebounds on the day.
picking up the boards, and I think that's something different that you usually don't typically see out of Michigan. Is these big men getting the rebound. If they continue that, then they'll definitely be able to play against some of the in-conference teams who carry on their bench. 7-foot guys, 7'1", which are always out rebounding us.
So Hall misses the first. This after he got fouled going to the rim. Second one also misses. Michigan gets the rebound. Mark Denow. He's quickly fouled by O'Leary. O'Leary a reach in. If I'm not mistaken, that is his fourth on the day. Check, that is his third. Third guy with 3 for IUPUI. 7:48 to go, and Michigan will go to the line. Now the game will surely slow down quite a bit.
Third big man for IUPUI with 3 fouls, so definitely their front court having trouble staying on the court.
Donnell hits the first. Michigan and IUPUI both in the bonus now. Donnell hits the second. Wolverines on top, 66-51, under 8 to go. Here in Ann Arbor. Thomas dribbles across center court. To McCall. McCall near the top of the key to Patterson. Patterson to his right. Now throws it back to his left for Thomas. Thomas dribbles into the lane. Underneath, dishes to McCall. McCall underneath. His layup is blocked, but a foul is called from behind. Like it was on DJ Wilson. Check that. Marked it out, called for it. Looked like he got a lot of ball, but maybe the elbows are what got locked up there, resulting in that foul call.
On the bonus as well after that last foul.
McCall drains the first. IUPUI needs a spark here. They need to get it back under 10. They seem to sit around that 10 to 14 mark the last 5 or 6 minutes of play time. He misses the second. DJ Wilson the rebound. Marked it out from the top of the key to Irvin. Irvin to the right, pulls up, long two. He hit it. Beautiful shot, pick and pop. Man can jump out of the gym, gets way up over the defender. Thomas into the lane. Ball is knocked aside before he could even get the shot off. Abdul Rahman coming the other way. He slows it down, 25 on the shot clock, 6:50 to go on the game clock. Rockman to his right. Now to his left, Derek Walton Jr. Walton Jr. entry. Kicks it to Abdul Rahman underneath on the baseline. Spinning. Layup misses. Mark Donnell gets the rebound, but stolen out of his hands by McCall. McCall the other way. Kicks it to Patterson. Patterson out into the corner. That's Combs. Combs hits the three. Check that. Thomas couldn't quite see the number. Thomas hits the three. 68-55 Wolverines. Rockman to Irvin. Irvin in the lane. Pulls up another long two. He likes that spot. That one doesn't fall. Thomas the other way. Thomas to his left. Cannot enter the lane. Kicks it back out to O'Leary. Inside to Hall. Hall posting up. Fouled from behind by Donnell. He was double teamed by Donnell and Irvin on the baseline.
Some nice help side defense by Irvin, though. But IUPUI still able to get the foul. second as well.
Jaguars number 24, Evan Hall.
So with Wagner.
Hall gets a couple of bounces on the back edge of that rim, but finally falls out. Mo Wagner checks back in. Donnell out. Combs comes in. So on the floor for IUPUI, it's Combs, Thomas, O'Leary, Hall, and Patterson. For the Wolverines, Wilson, Walton Jr., Wagner, and Irvin.
Definitely a pretty big lineup for Coach Beelan right now. Trying to really take advantage of that size difference that they had once again.
A double dribble called on Mo Wagner. Awkward dribble there. The IUPUI ball.
IUPUI wants something now. They're going to have to make it right here. Down 12 points with 5:40 left to go.
Thomas over to Combs. Combs high on the wing. Combs to his left near the key. Dribbles in the lane. Kicks it out. O'Leary to three. Contested by Abdul Rahman. He might have gotten a piece of it to tip it aside. Wolverines come down with the ball. Walton Jr. to Wilson on the far wing. Wilson wants ISO. To his left, Irvin. Irvin dribbles in the lane. Looking left, kicks it out to Wagner. Wagner a three. He got it! Mo Wagner drills one from the top of the three. Step-up jumper, 71-56 Wolverines.
Nothing looks better than a big man shooting a three and making it.
O'Leary from the far wing. Combs now inside to Hall. Hall dribbling, posting up. Hook shot, in and out. Mo Wagner the rebound. Mo Wagner, his fifth rebound on the day. Derek Walton Jr. coming right to left. To Rockman. 17 on the shot clock. 4:21 on the game clock. Rockman to his right. Has a lot of space over there on the far side. Goes up. Goes to the... He'll go to the line with two. Check that. A block called, actually. Ball went out of bounds. Michigan will keep it. 6 to go on the shot clock.
Fell hard to the ground on that one. Gave me a quick scare.
Urban inbound, Wilson. Wilson pulls up a three. He made it! Wilson was not thinking about taking that three, but then he realized there were 4 seconds on the shot clock, and so he threw it up there, and it went in. G.J. Wilson, his first and possibly only three all season. Ball knocked out of bounds on this side of the court. IUPUI will keep the ball. Wolverines lead 74-56, now finally starting to pull away. Up 18 here at home at the timeout. 56, you're listening to Wolverines Bachelor, McCain, Michigan. I'm Eli Sherman alongside afternoon call.
Back to back threes for the Wolverines is as well. Another scoring drive. No field goals the last 2.5 minutes. It's a wonder to me why Combs isn't in the ball. Him doing a lot of off that he did. Warren decided to go instead. On the other side, Michigan definitely leaning heavy on their big man with Wagner both hitting threes.
So still stuck at 22 points on the day. Again, on Friday night on the road at Eastern Kentucky, he put up 28 as massive in the early going in this season was a preseason All-Summit League selection and showing why here today in Ann Arbor. But that's been about it for IUPUI. Matt O'Leary has 11 points. After that, Aaron Brennan has 7. Also, Combs has played 31 minutes on the afternoon. Still have a little bit less than 4 to go. So with an 18-point lead, the Wolverines will look to shut things down and close this one out. Improve to 2-0 on the season. IUPUI would fall to 0-2.
And they'll look forward to playing Marquette on Thursday, in continuing this later this week, and then either SMU or Pittsburgh on Friday as well.
Inbound from Thomas. Gets it up top to O'Leary. Driving the lane. Layup with the right hand. In and out. Mo Wagner comes up with the rebound. Wolverines the other way. So be happy to let the clock run down a little bit before driving to the rim. Derek Walton at the top. To Rockman inside to DJ Wilson. Dribbling to his left. Step back jumper. In and out. Mo Wagner couldn't tip it in, and now a foul called as he hit the hands of Thomas. After Thomas came up with the board, Thomas will go to the line of 1-1.
And IUPUI struggling a little bit from the stripe, only shooting 7 for 12. On the other hand, Michigan Wolverines shooting a 15 for 16, 94% from the line. So definitely taking advantage when they're giving it.
Thomas is first in. Pulls within 17. That's the first points for IUPUI in the last 2.5 minutes or so of playtime. Second one is good. Them both. Rockman the inbound. Now a full court press from IUPUI. Rockman gets it across the center line. IUPUI doesn't relax though. Rockman to his right to Wilson. Back to Rockman. Rockman looking for a lane into the center and lays it up, and it's in. Two-handed hold goes up to the rim on that left side and lays it home. Wolverines back up on top by 18. Big block by DJ Wilson as Darrell Combs tried to go to the hole. DJ Wilson, that weak side block coming from behind.
And with Abdul Rockman's last basket, that is the 4th Michigan Wolverines to be in double-digit points today. Definitely the scoring load being distributed evenly today.
7 on the shot clock. Derek Walton Jr. to his left, kicks it to Urban. Urban pulls up the 2, hits the rim, goes out of bounds, that is. IUPUI ball. .213 to go here. Xavier Simpson checks back in for Derek Walton Jr. That'll be the day for Derek Walton. He played 35 minutes on the afternoon.
To the freshman this year. Last year's Mr. Ohio basketball. Definitely even getting some minutes early this season. So that when it comes down to it later, you have some game time experience.
Pass through the hands of Brennan, trying to find an entryway into the hands of Mark Donnell. Michigan recovers. 16 to go on the shot clock, 1:48 left here in the game. Rockman wasting time. Now dribbles right into the lane. Fouled as he goes to the rim. He'll go to the line for 2. Darrell Combs, the man called for the push on that one. The line.
And IUPUI still struggling to find a shot. 4.5 minutes now with no field, with not a shot going down for them, and it must be frustrating for a team, especially when you have someone as talented as Combe. Your shots just not coming along, and you rely so heavy on one player. And this is what can happen to you. All of a sudden, a 10 point difference is now almost a 20-point difference for.
A.B. Watson checks into the game. Irvin and Donnell out. And John Teskey, the big 7-foot center, in there for the Wolverines. DJ Wilson gets a rebound on a 3-point attempt from Combs. Wolverines coming the other way. Timeout by John Beeline. They're going to put in a couple of substitutes. Looks like Brent Hibbets, sophomore forward, coming in for the Wolverines, as well as Sean Lonergan, the senior. And this is garbage time in every meaning of the word. Wolverines up 19 here at home against an overmatched opponent. 1:23 left on the clock here in the second half. And the Wolverines will be looking ahead to their matchups at the back end of next week, Thursday and Friday at Madison Square Garden. They're taking on the Eagles of Marquette University on Thursday night, 9:30 p.m. tip. That one's a nationally televised game. And then on Friday, depending on the outcome of the Thursday night games, they'll play either Pittsburgh or SMU. That game also at Madison Square.
See them play some of the bigger teams earlier this season, especially Marquette. Definitely perennial NCAA March Madness tournament qualifier usually. Same with SMU or Pitt. So definitely good to see Michigan getting some big game, especially at Madison Square Garden. Fun place to play at.
And looking at the top 25 rankings, it appears that none of those teams are currently ranked. Pittsburgh is receiving votes. SMU, Marquette, nowhere to be seen. But 3, 4 if you include Michigan. Perennial powers that, you expect them at March to be at least at the end of March to be at least be in the conversation for making the tournament or being competitors in the tournament.
Especially on the bubble watch, Michigan having a tough division to play in as well against a Michigan State team that looks very good. Same with an Ohio State team, so it'll definitely be a great season, something to look towards as the season goes on to see where we stand among the best.
Watson facilitating things for the Wolverines. Over to Hibbets. Back to Watson, to Simpson. Simpson underneath. Simpson trying to find an opening. 5 on the shot clock. 2 on the shot clock. 1 on the shot clock. Watson got a shot off. Ugly shot. Little bit of youth display there as Michigan struggled to find a way to get the shot off with the shot clock tipping down. Sean Lonergan called for a foul. McCall will go to the line. He makes the first.
Like you said before, the very young lineup in for Michigan right now. 4 freshmen, only 1 senior. Coach B trying to understanding that with so little time and with such a large margin that these can get some playing time.
IUPUI likewise going with a little bit of a practice mode, going for the full court press, at least trying to simulate what things might be like down the stretch. Potentially a close conference game or a close game at the end of the season if they are able to get into tournaments. This is a team that's only made the NCAA tournament once all time. And now checking in for Xavier Simpson.
And number 22, Duncan Robinson.
Fred Wright Jones. Duncan Robinson checks in for Ibby Watson. McCall dribbles left off inbound. Frazier to O'Leary, or swings it around to Thomas on the near wing. Thomas to his left. Inside, pulls up a jumper. He made it and one.
Lonergan with a foul. Interesting note, Wright Jones was a walk-on, actually. And, those are always the great success stories we like to hear of some of these players who come on, join the team as a walk-on. Definitely must be great getting some game time experience.
Thomas drains the free throw, 77-63. Struggling to get it across the center line in the 10 seconds. Pass intercepted. McCall comes up with it. Dishes to O'Leary. O'Leary fouled as he goes to the rim. Shot does not fall. That's the third foul on Sean Lonergan in about a minute's worth of playing time. Sean Lonergan, an ugly day in garbage time here. 4 seconds left on the clock. Pending these free throws, that'll do it here from Ann Arbor. Makes the first. IUPUI getting the backdoor cover here, if you want to call it that. Michigan were 17-point favorites coming into it. Not that Vegas cares too much about this game. Lonergan inbounds. Fred Wright Jones will dribble it out, and the Wolverines move on to victory. A little bit of an ugly stretch down there the last minute or so as the reserves could not hold things together, perhaps an indication of Michigan's lack of depth. However, if you want to have an argument about depth, Michigan's team, 8 different guys with points, including 4 in double figures, as Alex mentioned a few minutes ago. Wolverines pull this one out, 77-65. They'll move on to Madison Square Gardens coming up on Thursday. Alex, your final thoughts?
Definitely like to see the fact that the scoring was distributed across 4 players, and Walton Jr. continuing his scoring burst. 20 points on Friday night's game and 13 today from the jumper. So definitely 2 guys I expect to lead this team, looking comfortable early into the season.
So that's going to do it for our broadcast here from Chrysler Arena. I'm Eli Sherman alongside Alex Lopez. We encourage you to tune in about an hour and 20 minutes as the Michigan women's team will be taking on Howard University. That's a 3 p.m. tip, and you can find that game right here on WCBN Sports. That is a WCBN exclusive broadcast here from Chrysler Arena. So be sure to tune in. I'll leave you with a good night and a Go Blue.